Hello Flosstube, my name is Amy and this is my channel about cross stitch. This is episode 30 and it's February the 23rd, day before my son's birthday. He turns 29 this year and it's around 11:30-ish, 11:29. How has everybody been? I hope you've been doing good and getting some good stitching in. It's certainly, the weather here is perfect stitching weather. It's snowing. But I love the snow. I don't have a problem with the snow. The only thing is, well, before I start getting into life updates, I want to make an announcement. I no longer have a post office box. I haven't had a post office box since the 1st of January. And so if you send me something and it got returned, it wasn't me. Nope, wasn't me. I wouldn't do that. It's because I don't have a post office box anymore. So for now, there's no way really to send me anything. I don't know. I kind of got, I don't know if it was upset. I just, I felt like they just kept going up on the price every time it was time to make the payment. It was like every 3 months, it was $10 more. And, you know, after I closed my shop, I really felt like it was just an extra expense. I didn't really need it anymore. It never dawned on me that I used it for Flosstube too, so I canceled it back in January. So that I needed to let y'all know that. Okay, life update. So my husband and I started an exercise routine, and we were walking in the afternoon, and we got 3 days in that week. And then it turned cold. It went down to like 18 degrees. And now it's snowing. So it's been like that for, well, we haven't been on a walk. This is going on our second week since we walked those 3 days. So, but we're planning on picking back up once the weather is good, because we just walk around our block. We're up on a hill, so it's pretty good sized hills. We get to go down the hill when we start out, but we have to come back up the last leg of the walk. And woo, I tell you. But we're gonna pick that back up once the weather gets warmer. And so yeah, my youngest daughter started college in January. And so I've just been adjusting to that. She's my baby. I have 4 children. And she's my baby, and she started college in January. And it was really the first time that she's ever, well, she told me she was moving out. And so, I don't know. I just, she's the one of my children that says, you know, she'll always be with us and that kind of thing. So it's been an adjustment. I'm very proud of her, and she's doing good. She comes home on the weekend, so that kind of takes the edge off of it. I help her with her homework and stuff, and it's amazing what I can remember from when I was in school. But just this past couple of weeks, I've just been organizing, making this more of my stitchy room, and yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I wanted to go ahead and do my WIP Parade today in this video. I actually already filmed this video, and it was dark. It was at night. I was excited to get my WIP Parade done, and it was dark and you couldn't hardly see anything. And I was like, well, maybe I should just wait and do it during the day. But then I just went ahead and I edited my video, and I went to upload it, and it said it was going to take like 3 hours to upload. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna redo my video, so in the daylight. So here I am. Last year I did my WIP Parade on the 1st of January. I was really on top of doing my WIP Parade. I did a video in my episode 29. I think it was at the end, towards the end of January. And I couldn't do a WIP Parade then because I was not organized. I was totally not organized. So in the process of moving into this, fully moving into, excuse me, fully moving into this room, I've been organizing and getting everything in order. So, but my WIPs are not in order according to my, this is called my cross-stitch journal, but it's okay. So I do write everything down now, but it's not in the order according to my cross-stitch journal, but that's okay. But that is why I'm here today. I wanted to update you guys just what I've been doing, and I wanted to get my video up so that I'm more consistent. I've just been slacking a lot for like the last half year or so. All right, so I guess I need to start off with showing you some of my FFOs. And I have, actually, I have 3 FFOs. One second, I'm gonna go get, I left one up on the shelf, so I'll go get that one. Okay, so the first FFO, I did this from Hello from Liz Matthews. It was a free chart. I was watching a Flosstube channel. She's a paper crafter too. I'll put the name of her channel on the screen, but she had mentioned, she had done this one too and mentioned it, so I went over to Liz Matthews' channel and downloaded this and stitched it. And I just put some, I think this is Three Sisters fabric on the back. I just love this fabric. But that was one finish. I didn't write this one in my book, so I'm not, oh, I finished, did I finish? No, I didn't finish. I finished this before Valentine's Day. And it was a lot of fun. So I just stuffed it with walnut shells and did the fabric on the back. So in the trim. So that was a lot of fun. And I love those colors. I forget the color thread I used. Sorry. And this was Ada. I think this is 18 count Ada that I colored myself. So 2 FFOs. These, I'm so proud of them. I went ahead and I finished them in frames that I picked up from a thrift store. So I would say the last couple of days I've been working on fully finishing these two WIPs that I carried for a while. The first one is, and I hope there's not going to be a glare. It's snowing today. It's not sunny out, so there's no warm light in here. It's just a bright light. It's like an LED light, but the first one is my winter, and there is going to be a glare. Okay, so there's no way to get this to show up without the glare because the glass is not non-glare. So this is the best I can do, but I picked this frame up at the thrift store for $6, and now the dog's gonna start barking. But I picked this frame up for about $6, and it just happened that the mat board that was in there perfectly fit around the I wish I could show it without all the glare, but you know what, it's okay. It turned out really pretty. And I used all the call for threads. This was stitched on, and I wrote all this down. This was stitched on 36 count light mocha from 123 Stitch. This is Winter Rose Manor by Brenda Gervais. And I used all the cloth 4 threads, even the roasted marshmallow, I think it was called, and I think it shows up pretty good. So I'm happy with that one. And I even did the paper on the back. This next one is one that I had mentioned in previous floss tubes, and several of you told me just to get it finished. So I did. And this is my Christmas garden by Blackbird Design. I think Pat Ryan is the designer. Oh, the size of the size of Winter Rose Manor, the stitch count or the stitch size is 182 by 181, and I did this on 36 count. Christmas garden is 225 by 272. This one I also found a frame for it yesterday, and here it is. It's all done and framed, and I'm so happy with this frame. It too does not have non-glare, but it's all finished. I think it turned out really, let's see if I can get this. I think it turned out really pretty. I'm pretty happy with it. I still have to get craft paper to go on the back. And this frame also has a little bit of a chip right here in the corner, but it's okay. It works. This frame was $10 at the thrift store. Alrighty, so those were my two FFOs, and I was going to finish. I have a finish that I wanted to FFO yesterday, but I didn't have a frame that would work with it, so I still need to frame it. But this is my Clover Girl. Let me get my book out. By Pineberry Lane. This is Sweet Clover Girl, and there was several. There we go. There was several patterns in this one that I plan on finishing, but I got the Clover Girl done. She's 45 by 52. I stitched her on 16 count Aida. Was it 4 or 3? I think it was 4/2 on 16 count. And I colored the fabric myself. It's like this pinky orangey color. I was trying to mimic the called for fabric, and I don't have the pattern with me. I could tell you what the called for fabric is, but I couldn't find any. So I mean, they had the higher count because it calls for, I think, 36 count, but I wanted it to be larger. I was watching Sable Stitchers, and then they had finished this one, so I went over and purchased the download PDF, and decided that I would stitch her on a lower count fabric. And so that's that one. And I also have one more finish that, you know, I wanted to frame this one, but I couldn't find a frame that would work with it. And this one is here we go. This one is Fraktur Love Sampler by Modern Folk Embroidery. And I finished this one on Valentine's Day. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it. I posted it when I finished it. My goal was to finish it by Valentine's Day, and I finished it 15 minutes before midnight Valentine's Day. This one stitched on 32 count light mocha from 123 Stitch. And I used, so I had a bag the last time I showed it in my floss tube before. I had several different flosses, close to the same color in a bag, and I didn't understand at that time. I didn't remember, but the pattern calls for wool floss, Journal Arts wool floss, and I did buy some. I just didn't purchase enough. So I had to make up, what I should have done was just purchase more, right? But I was impatient. I wanted to get it done. So I ended up stitching it with DMC 813. And I think it's okay. They're pretty close in the same color. I like stitching with the wool floss. It's a lot of fun. I do embroidery, and so I definitely there's a couple of floral embroidery techniques that I wanna do with the wool floss. So I will be purchasing more wool floss. It's fun to work with too. So, but there's that one. I finished it on Valentine's Day. It's all done. Just needs to be FFO'd now. So those are all my FFOs and my finishes since the last time I saw you guys. Last time I talked to you. So now I'm going to do my WIP Parade. And so I'm going to save this one for last because that's one I just started. Because if I needed to start anymore, I did. I'm just going to have fun this year and just stitch what I want to stitch. And so the first one is Love Abide by La Di Da. And this one calls for 36 count, and it's 254 by 243. It calls for DMC and weak dye works, and I am stitching it on get myself together here. I'm sure this is 36 count. Love Abide, I just saw it a few minutes ago. One moment, please. Love Abide. I'm stitching this on 36 count antique ivory with all the call for threads, the DMC and the weak dye works. And I think the last time I shared this on my video, I'm going to open this blind back up because it's kind of dark. There. The last time I shared this on my Flosstube, I was working towards getting all the leaves finished, and I did get all the leaves finished, but then I realized over here where there's no leaves on this limb that it wasn't long enough. I had missed some stitches, so I had to take all the leaves out on those two branches, and now I just need to restitch the leaves on there, and then I'll move down and work on the houses. So it has all these cute little houses at the bottom. This is a very, very fun stitch. I love this pattern so much, and that's going to be fun FFO in this one. I started this one in 2021. I didn't put down the month or the day, which is something I plan on doing this year, making sure I put down the day and the month also, besides the year. Yeah, so this is a 2021 WIP. I should have found all my oldest WIPs, and anyway, I'll do that next time. So it'll be a little bit more order. And these are all the flosses, all the different colors. I do plan on finishing that one this year. I'm going to put these back in the boxes and take them out. I'm going to save that one for last because that's a bit of a... Okay, the next one is Consider the Lillies. And I haven't done much on this one since the last time I showed it. And my other WIP Parade. Did I do a WIP Parade last year at the end of the year? I think I just shared it because I'd been working on it. This is Consider the Lillies by Heartstring Samplery. Beth Twist is the designer. And it is 435 by 363. You know, when I purchased it, I didn't even look at the size of it. And so I was updating my cross-stitch journal, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a big piece. Because I've been thinking about doing like a large, like full coverage. And I had found one that was like 400 and something by 500, and I was like, that's way too big. And so I got tickled when I realized how the size of this one. I was like, well, if I could do this, I can do. But this is how far I got. I remember the last time I shared this, I had my words were off with the border. So I just took all the wording out and restitched it in a different color. I forget what color it was, but that's how far I am on it. And I do plan on stitching on that a lot this year. A lot. I'm stitching it on 40 count white Zweigart. I started this in 2019. This is an older WIP. And here's all the flosses. Well, not all of them. There's a few I need to pick up because I keep stealing from taking flosses from this one to do other ones. And I shouldn't do that, but I do. The next one is my Stitchingly Ever After. And I'm not going to go by my book. This is a PDF download. This is Barbara Anna Designs. I love this pattern. It is, oh, I have the stitch count here. This one is 116 by 183. It calls for 32 count natural linen. I am gonna look at them in my book. Actually, I have a ticket on here still. I'm stitching this on 32 count platinum from the Cross Stitch Nook. And this is how far I've gotten. And I think I just need to finish the flowers in the house down below, and I'm done with this one. And this is another one that will be fun to FFO. And these are the flosses that I'm using. Oh, I just hate the lighting in here. Maybe if I turn on the overhead light, that will probably help. I realize I don't have the overhead light on. Hold on. Well, that doesn't really put much more light in here. I need to get brighter light bulbs. You can kind of tell the colors. This is a really fun stitch. I'm almost done with this one, so I do plan on finishing this one this year, soon. And I'm probably going to say that about every one of them. Oh, I gotta put the pattern back. And I'm very proud of myself because I went through all of my WIPs, so organized them, cleaned them up. I didn't iron them all, but they're so much better than they were. The next one is, oh, this is my, I've noticed a lot of people stitching on this one. I think there's a couple of Sal's too, or maybe there's Zoom meetings. This is Tong, Uffindale, 1835 by Hands Across the Sea. She is, well, let's see, I'm stitching this on 40 count. And that would mean that, well, it's, sorry, one moment. I know they have the size of her here somewhere. What is the stitch size on this one? Well, I have it written down here, so probably take me less time to find it in here. That's what I meant. I didn't have all my WIPs organized according to my, I should have just taken a few seconds and organized my WIPs according to my journal. Okay, 40 count. Nope, don't have the size on there. Now it's gonna bug me, but let's see, she is, what is the stitch size of this? I know it's here on the back. Somewhere I saw it the other day. Okay, here it is, 320 by 378. I should be wearing my glasses. But I'm stitching her on, it calls for 40 count. Maybe it says what the model is stitched on, but I'm stitching it on 40 count. It gives you a lot of different options. That's why I'm having trouble. It gives you a lot of different options of stitch count that you can do it on. And it also tells you, well, here, I could just show it to you. It tells you all the different counts that you can stitch it on. And it tells you the design size, like what the finished size would be if you stitched it on that size fabric or that stitch count. And it also comes with this little handy card that you can put your name on when you're finished it. I guess this would be good to put on the back of the frame when you're finished. And it also has all your, it calls for Sol d'Alger. Yeah. And this is a list of all the flosses. So that's really handy. So I am stitching this on 40 count Cafe a Lot by Cross Stitch Nook. From Cross Stitch Nook, and this is how far I've gotten. Now the last, when I did my Flosstube and it was too dark, so I didn't end up uploading it, I had noticed that I was like, I couldn't remember if this was the bottom or the top. Probably the bottom. I usually start at the bottom. This flower right here looks out of place, and because it is. I had first started stitching at way down here and realized that I probably should bring it up some more to give me some room for framing. And so I just started back up here. So that's why that flower's down there. I need to frog that flower out, but it's so pretty and I want to take it out. But I certainly can't leave it there. But this is how far I've gotten. And I started this one in June of 21. So yeah, I'm going to be working on her too. And these are all the sawdust shapes. All the different, it's hard to see. I am so sorry about the lighting. I will work on that between now and my next Flosstube. Figure out my lighting in here. I think it's the overhead. Maybe it's the overhead. So the next one is a Christmas stitch that I started last year. December, I think it was December the 1st I started. This is a Prairie schooler and it's called Christmas Samplers 2. And the designer is Pamela Bird Smith. And this is what it looks like. I am stitching this one here. And my goal when I first started, I really love it because you can take parts of these patterns. There's 3 different patterns here. This is so annoying, that glare. But there's 3 different patterns in this one pattern. And you can even take parts of one of these patterns and turn it into like a pin keep or something. But I started this one on December the 1st and my goal was to finish it by Christmas, but I didn't make it. So I just kind of put it down after the holidays. This is how far I've gotten. And I had changed the green in the middle, the vines, to a lighter green. But now I'm thinking maybe, because it calls for, if you look at the pattern, it's kind of like a cream color vine. And I think it calls for my glasses. I don't have my glasses in here. Let's see if I can see it looks like X's. Yeah. It calls for light green, 3052. Is it really a light green? Yeah, it's kind of a beigey green. So I don't know. I may decide to put it back the way it was because at first I thought, oh, that looks really good. I really like that green on there. But now I'm just like, I think I'm gonna frog the green out and put the right color, because I definitely want it to look like the pattern in that book. And I will finish that one this year. Maybe in July. I'll work on it in July. Christmas in July. The next one is by the Scarlett House. And it's Sarah Jackson. I started this one. This is a pretty pattern. There, you can somewhat see it. Take it out of the bag. I love this pattern. I love the fabric, the called for fabric. It calls for Dolphin Linen by Weeks Dye Works. And I had started using Sterling by Picture This Plus, but I really like how dark this fabric is. So I may restart it. This is how far I've gotten. I think this is 40 count. 40 count, yeah. This is how far I've gotten. So the Sterling, it's pretty blue. It's a pretty blue, but I don't feel like it's dark enough. And the bird needs a head. And I really should get started back on this. It's my dog Max, sorry about that. I really need to work on this one. Oh, the flosses are in the bag. I didn't put it back in the bag, it's okay. I'll fix that later. The next one is, that's the Christmas one. The next one is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. Okay, I stopped the video because it got a little hectic out there. Everybody was being noisy. I started this in June of 2020. Wow. 21, 22, 3 years I've had this WIP. I'm stitching this on 40 count Sterling by Picture This Plus. And I thought, put my sleeves up, my sleeves are ringing. I thought I was just about done with it. I've gotten this far on it. I thought I had to do was the strawberries, but I still have the top of this house, and there's a few motifs just above the houses that I still need to stitch. So I have the greenery. I've got the tree in, but I think I still need to do the bird and the flag. So I'm going to start on this soon so that I can get it done by the 4th of July, because I'm sure my plans, I have a pattern that I want to stitch. I want to start the end of June. I'm stitching this with all the call for threads. And so my plans for that one is to get that one done before the 4th. It's time to get this one finished. Probably should just start on it right away. The next one, I have this one too. I've had this WIP for a while. Let me see if I can pop it in here right quick. So this is future me popping in here. I had sat down and was reviewing the various clips before I started editing my video, and I noticed that I was totally calling that pattern this one. It's Fraktur Flowers by Lottie Da, not Summer Squirrel by the Blue Flower. Anyway, I am stitching this on 32 count Ren by Picture This Plus. I started this in March of 2020. And this is how far I've gotten on it. And I made quite a bit of progress on it, and this is one that I am definitely going to get done soon, before the summer gets here. Fraktur Flowers. It's actually, I'm going to start working on this right away because it's springy. It's really pretty springy. There's all the flosses. I'm stitching it with DMC. Yeah, So I was calling it Summer Squirrel, and Summer Squirrel is right behind me, right there. Let's see if I can turn the camera. It's right there. That's Summer Squirrel. I finished that one 2 years ago. Okay, back to the other video. It calls for Gentle Arts. I know I have the Bayberry Gentle Arts in here, but I think the rest of these are DMC. Yeah, the rest are DMC. But I think it calls for Gentle Arts. So it's, I think because I was new to stitching, I didn't realize. So it says Bayberry right here by Gentle Arts, or DMC 501, and then down below it has the DMC first and then names. And at the time I didn't realize what it was saying, but it's saying that you can use the Gentle Arts, these colors of Gentle Art, or you can use the DMC. So I purchased the Bayberry by Gentle Arts, and I went and got all the DMC. So funny. But I think it's pretty. I think it's turning out pretty. The DMCs are very pretty. So that's all good. But now I know better. Now I know. All right. So that's that one. And I will have that one done before summer. The next one is a plan. This one, did I write this one in here? Probably, I did start. I don't think I had the information on it though. Pumpkin Farm, Anniversaries of the Heart, and this is pattern 10. And I had started this one on, it says L. It's probably a 40 count. Oops, upside down. This is such a pretty pattern. I've stitched a lot of the smaller Blackbird patterns, and I need to check to see if any of the other ones are Anniversaries of the Heart. And this is pattern 10, so obviously there's more than one. And I wasn't even paying attention. I started stitching this. This looks like L by Picture This Plus in it, and I'm almost sure it's a 40 count. And it's really pretty. It's turning out very, very pretty. I love the modeling in this fabric, which is kind of hard to see. Maybe if I hold it back here, you can see the orange modeling in it. But I wasn't happy with the size, so I just stopped stitching on it. But when I did my other video, I come to terms with the fact that I love this. I'm going to finish it on this. I guess what a lot of people were doing is they were stitching more than one on a piece of fabric, because it says in here, if the entire collection is stitched on one piece of linen, it's 387 by 261, which I bet it would be really pretty. The design size of this one is 75 by 85. So I need to explore that more. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish this one. I would like to stitch it on a bigger piece of fabric. It's really pretty DMCs together. So that one I will finish before fall. And that, I think, is everything except for my Song of the Witches, which is right here. This one is called Song of the Witches. This is a PDF pattern I downloaded from Vintage Needle Arts. They're on Etsy. Actually, no. Did I get this one from the Etsy shop? The designer is Teresa Webendorfer. Song of the Witches. Maybe it was Vintage Needle Arts Etsy shop. Anyway, I really love this pattern. I love the border, and I loved it was just like the perfect pattern for when I started it. Because I don't have a lot of October patterns to decorate with. And I thought this would be a nice collection. I definitely plan on framing this one. Song of the Witches. I'm doing this on 40 count Cafe a lot. I started this in September of 2021. And that's how far I've gotten. It's so pretty. And I think I'm stitching it with DMC 154. Instead of black, I did it in like a deep, like mulberry purple color. And so I will have that one done before the end of fall. And I think that's everything. Those are all my WIPs current. No, it's not. I've got one more that I just started, and I'm going to show that one. But I wrote all my WIPs down in the front. So I have a count of them, and there are 12. I have 12. No, I have 11 WIPs. No, sorry. I have 1, 2. I finished that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I certainly just showed more than 4. So we won't go by that. I'm not sure how many WIPs I have altogether. I will count them and I will post it on the screen. I need to know that. But in 2022, I finished Blackbird, Fraktur, Grateful, Thankful, Blessed, Bouquets, Live and Let Live. So that I had 1, 2, 3. I had 4 finishes, large finishes last year. My goal was to just knock out all my WIPs and not do anything else, and I just came to terms with that, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it anymore, because I'm going to stitch, I'm going to buy patterns, I'm going to start them, even if I hadn't. Did I bring that other one? I didn't, but it's okay. Like I'm stitching Tong Uffindale, and I have the sister pattern. And I had told myself I couldn't start it until I finished Tong. I was like, you know what? I've started kitting it up, because if I want to start the other one, I will. That's my attitude towards my stitching this year. So I just started. I've had this pattern for a while. Heartstring sampler, brown bird Biscornu, and I think I had started this a couple of years ago, and I gave up on it because I think I was just starting 40 count or something. I don't remember. But I restarted because I want to finish it. It's so pretty. Such a pretty Biscornu. And I've got to have it. I love it. I've never finished a Biscornu before. And oh, I just love this one. So I restarted it last night. So that would have been the 22nd of February. I started on it again. And that's my start. Oop. And I'm doing this 40 count 1/2. So, and it's fun. It is so fun. So I'm having fun with that one. I do need to start, I need to start knocking out my earlier WIPs, only because there's not that much more to do on them, but I'm definitely going to be, this is my current WIP. So yeah, there's my WIP Parade for 2023. Yay, got it done. And so hopefully I'll be able to get this video edited. Okay, my camera didn't stop. But it says my battery's getting low, so hopefully my microphone battery didn't run out while I'm videoing. But yeah, if my battery runs out on my camera, I have more charging over here. I don't get it. I'm using a Sony, and I charge the batteries. I have them all charged, and then I'll unplug them. I leave them in the battery charger, and I put them down in my camera bag. But when I go to use them, they're not charged anymore. So I guess batteries lose their charge if you don't use them right away. I don't know. One battery came with the camera, and the other two were some that I'd purchased on Amazon. But anyway, I don't know. I'm just wasting battery talking about it. Yeah, so those are all my WIPs. Those my plans this year, actually. I need to get started sharing this. This one. So I just recently kitted up this pattern. This is a plan for, this is my birthday start, which would be, my birthday's not March the 1st, it's in March, but I plan on starting this pattern March the 1st for my birthday start. And it is Flowers for You by Jeanette Douglas. Let me take it out of the bag. It is so pretty. Absolutely love this pattern. Gotta carefully take it out because I'm getting into this mode that I want to keep my patterns in mint condition. Not because I want to resell them, because I will keep all my patterns. But I love a new pattern. So, but I want to take this out so you can see the pattern very well. You probably have seen it. Not that my lighting is gonna allow you to see it, but anyway, this is gonna be my birthday start. And I purchased this. It comes with, I say Hollis. Is it Hollis or Hollies? Holly's Hands Create. So I purchased the pattern from her Etsy store, and it came with this beautiful project card. I love that. It calls for 36 count, 40 count, or 46 count Aztec Red by Weeks Dye Works. And I have that color, which I also purchased from her shop. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, such a pretty, pretty, pretty red. Love that. And this is the original Weeks Dye Works. Love it. And I also, it calls for 103s. So I bought these from Hoop and Frame. I was able to find these on Hoop and Frame. They were packaged so beautifully when I got them. Thank you so much. And then I purchased the remainder ones, the Noir and the Cream, and then this color from, I'm sorry, did I say Hobby House? These came from Hobby House. And then I purchased these from Hoop and Frame. And they sent me a sample of a color to try of the Saltache. And thank you so much for that. I love that. So I will be starting this one on March the 1st. You guys, so I've never attended a Zoom meeting before, so I downloaded Zoom last night. So let me know if you want to connect that way. Another one that I plan on doing, and tomorrow, so I ordered the floss pack for this one from 123 Stitch and some other fabrics, so I plan on starting this one. This is by Jeanette Douglas too. This is Blooming Bouquets number 2, Cheerful. Let me take it out of the bag. Even though I don't want to. Oh well. And yes, I did put that pattern back in that bag without putting it back in the plastic, but I will get it and I will put it back in the plastic. But this is the Cheerful Bouquet. And this one calls for 36 count Picture This Plus Legacy, which I don't think that's what I ordered. I did get 36 count though. And it also calls for Gloriana threads and Belle Soie by Classic Colorworks. So I just bought the thread pack. 123 Stitch had the floss pack with everything in it that you need. And yeah. so I should get that tomorrow. It says it'll arrive tomorrow. But I'm going to be starting that one soon too. And I also pulled out my memorabilia, my Cathedral Woods Goddess, which I plan on starting and working on this year. Get that back in there without ruffling that. And so I started my memorabilia 3 times, and I just was not happy with the linen, the color. So I took this, I purchased this, so here's my Cathedral Woods Goddess. I'm starting to get it unorganized. I'm excited, I got my WIP Parade done. But this is Cathedral Woods Goddess by Memorabilia, and she is 163 by 252, and it calls for 32 count country French latte. So if you, she's beautiful on the latte. I will admit that she is beautiful, but I wanted some activity around her. I didn't want her just to be there in that plain background. And I started her 3 times trying to find a color for the background fabric that I felt like, I don't know, was busy. And I was just finally like, you know, I was watching somebody's Flosstube. And they were stitching a memorabilia on a fabric, and I thought, that's beautiful. And I tried to find that particular fabric, couldn't find it. So I got a quarter, a fat quarter, 32 count country French latte. This is from 123 Stitch. And I tried to color it like hers. And see, so now I'm gonna stitch her on this one, and it's gonna look like she's in the forest, right? I'm excited. So I'm gonna restart her. I'm excited. I've got the Krynic, and I've got all the beads for her. All the beautiful, beautiful beads. And I am working on getting, I got this is by Water Lillies. So there's the greenish purple Water Lillies. So pretty color. And then this one is the watercolors, like the orange watercolors. And so I'm gonna start her. I'm excited. I am so excited. She's so pretty. This is so pretty. She's going to be beautiful. This time, I learned from the other 3 times I started her that I'm gonna wait to do the Krynic, and I'm gonna wait to do the beads until after I get all the stitching done. I tried to do it all together, and so those are some of my plans. I have others, so that I'm still just like working on or thinking about. So, but I'll keep you updated. My goal is to be consistent, maybe every 2 weeks. I would love to do a Flosstube every 2 weeks because I hate getting behind and then forgetting. Oh, one other thing I wanted to share. I do have some haul. A lot of the haul is the fabric and the threads that I got for kitting up that I already showed you, but I also purchased this ultra punch needle. Let me go grab the fabric real quick. So I had tried several different needles for punch needle, and I purchased the one that Joann's has, which worked pretty good. And I had one that I had bought. Anyway, I wasn't happy with how it worked. So I purchased the Ultra Punch Needle, and I'm excited to give it a try. But I also purchased, so I tried using Ada. I tried using canvas fabric. I tried using linen, and just totally destroyed those fabrics. So I purchased, it's best to use weaver's cloth. And so I purchased this weaver's cloth. Let me take it out so you can see what it looks like. It kind of looks like cross-stitch fabric. It's got holes, but there's no way. I mean, this would be like a 60 count. And then there may be 60 count. But let me show you, see if I can get it up close. It's like a real fine, it's like a linen, but it's sturdy. And so I'm excited to give this needle punch another go. I still have to get a pattern, and there's Teresa that has a new punch needle pattern. Really pretty. It's a bird. I think it's a bird, and I was like, oh, that would be a good one to start. But see, I don't want to overwhelm myself and try to do something hard to start with. So I really should just find a simple pattern. I should do like a heart or something and just try it, but that's where I'm at. All right, guys, I really appreciate you. I'm so sorry for waiting so long, but I wanted to be organized, and I still feel like I'm a little bit scattered, but anyway, I'll get better at sharing my WIPs every year, and I think everybody does another one at the end of the year just to show what they've gotten accomplished and everything. So I'll be more organized next time. I hope you have a great and wonderful, wonderful stitchy week coming up. The next 2 weeks coming up, because I hopefully will be back in 2 weeks. I really appreciate you. I hope that you be safe, and that you have a good couple of weeks, and I will see you again. I don't know what information you need in order to connect with me on Zoom. If you will, leave me a comment. Just let me know what I need to do. I would love to connect with some of you, all of you. That would be fun. But I think it's set. I'm doing the free account. I don't have a pro account. And I think you could do a 40-minute meeting up to 100 people. So that would be fun. All right, guys. I hope you have a great couple of weeks coming up, and I will see you in my next video. All right, see ya. Thank you. See ya.